Whether she's chairing a fundraiser or running a bake sale, the universe revolves around the queen bees.
Queen bee, baby, pray that you may be left on your love.
And joining us now are Dr. Betsy Schur Levy, and from the Real Housewives of New York is Jill Zarin. Thank you both so much for being here.
My pleasure, Katie.
Queen bees. Queen bees. What about queen bees? Are you one, Jill?
You know, I like to think of myself as a leader and a connector.
Well, what's the difference between a leader and a queen bee?
Well, that's a wonderful question, Jane. A leader speaks to someone who really wants others to follow them in a much more healthy way, to be productive, to accomplish a mutual goal. But a queen bee has the connotation of someone who's just craving attention, recognition, in a way that they want others to emulate them, to envy them, to want to be with them, to really, do whatever they want. The interesting thing is they say a queen bee doesn't even need to be beautiful or even pretty. She just needs to feel hot, and others believe she is.
I don't think a queen bee is a good connotation, and the qualifications in high school, I definitely wasn't any queen bee or even close. I wasn't even a leader. I was more of a follower and, just wanted to be liked and accepted. So I was very, young and immature.
But you're a queen bee now, right? Are you a self-admitted queen bee? Because all of your fellow castmates claim that you are a queen bee. You know I say this from love because I love you.
No. It's all good. By the way,
an important
it's all
comment,
good.
Sarah.
I'm happy that they're even talking about me, so it's all good.
Okay.
All goes good, but the queen bee issue is for me for the show. I connected a lot of people on the show. Luann came on because I introduced her to the producers. Bethany got on because I introduced her to the producers, and Ramona and I were both sort of cast at the same time.
So this comes back to
them.
that question of good queen bees versus bad, because we're not necessarily saying that if you're a queen bee, you're bad.
Right? Not.
No, we're not.
That's right.
You can be a good queen bee.
That's right. Let's speak to that point.
Let's.
Quote, the good queen bee, a woman who wants to feel very accomplished, energetic. She might not have a career, but she has a lot of intelligence and motivation to succeed. So she's out there. Now, she's out there perhaps in the social milieu. And perhaps it reads queen bee, but it's really something more altruistic and less narcissistic and less about the envy and idealization of others. Versus the queen bee, who's really there because they're suffering some sort of perhaps early childhood vulnerability, insecurity.
So this all goes back to being a little kid, a little girl?
Jane,
It does.
I think if you were told you're princess and you were told you're queen, then you're queen bee and your children are little queen bees. But if you were
I want to know if I'm
given,
a queen bee. What are the little beelets called?
they're little queen bees. On the other hand,
Worker bees, bumblebees. But I think leader and connector for me regarding the show is probably more appropriate.
And I do think that there's a distinct difference between what we're talking about here. And
Absolutely.
I almost feel like we're getting back into that old same thing of a double standard for women again.
Yes.
Because a queen bee sounds like it's arrogant and controlling.
B-word.
But
Like the
a nice
unkind.
girl is
Not the B word.
But a mother
and
who's
not
a
the B
queen
word.
bee.
That's right.
the
That's
other
right.
B word.
But can't a good queen bee mother affect her children in a positive way?
Sarah, great question. If, in fact, that child is not serving the role as the narcissistic extension, quote unquote, of herself, but really being the child who the child is, yes, she can be a wonderful mother because she's showing energy and enthusiasm and accomplishment. But if the child is the narcissistic extension, the child is not
queen
who
bee
they
just
are,
isn't
and
a
they're
nice word.
neglected.
It just doesn't come off. I don't think there's anything nice about the word queen bee unless you're giggling and laughing to the song that you introduced the piece on.
Now, would you say that some of your castmates,
Queen bee, baby.
would you say that some of your fellow castmates are queen bees?
No, I think it rotates. I think on the Real Housewives, that queen bee position rotates, and I think that's healthy because sometimes I lead and sometimes I follow, and I think that's a healthy relationship. Would you agree?
And don't you also think that it's important that there be these leaders and connectors and everything else on a program like that?
In society, you need them. If you don't have leaders and connectors, then the followers have no one to be led by, and I don't mean that in a bad way.
Who's making the honey in the hive?
However, we want the queen bee to, in a very positive way, to nourish the friendship by not feeling the friends are all beneath them.
Yep.
And that the only thing the friends can do is get them somewhere or do something for them or worship them. There has to be some equality, and that gives the queen bee a more positive sense of leadership and power. That's really what we're looking for. And again, the gender role here is
I'm still thinking of the song Queen Bee Baby. Can we put that back on? I'm loving that song.
I don't know if we have it here
We can do that for you later, because you're coming back to talk to us
thank you.
towards the end of the show. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.